Coming on to preventions and how we basically help self-harmers do things for themselves, we come to certain theories and therapies and so on and so forth. Today we're going to talk about art therapy. Art therapy is not exactly what you think it is. As we go through, you'll see. Now, drawing. Probably the most thought of form of art is drawing. Basically, it's been around for a very long time. And also you will find that when it comes to self-expression, most people, when they think of art therapy, the first thing they do is they think of drawing. Art that you see, visualizations and so on and so forth. But art therapy is so much more than that. The idea of art therapy is to take away a person's negative thoughts. I have taken online art therapy courses. Some are more informative than others. So whatever you want to get out of something, you've obviously got to put in. I draw myself, I write, I sing, I sometimes act a fool, but basically that's some of the things that I do. But drawing, is creativity from within yourself, and that's exactly what art therapy is. It's drawing out the creativity of an individual person. Now with that person, you then actually help them understand that they can move away from what they're thinking and design something more better for themselves. Colouring. Colouring with art therapy comes in many, many shapes and forms. They now have art therapy books. They do centangles, mandalas, which is fancy patterns for those who do not know. And basically, you get your self-harmer to actually turn around and choose the colours that they want. So, colouring is also a therapy. Colour therapy is quite a unique idea. I've taken colour therapy courses as well. The idea is that the most times a person uses a colour within inside their therapy, it shows an emotion. Now that emotion could be fear, it could be anxiety, it could be anger. The idea of colour therapy is that you turn around and say to the person, what was it that you managed to get from that? What did you actually see? Why did you choose that colour? Of all colours. How does that colour make you feel inside? And then you realise that, colours can be great ways of actually talking to people. Quite surprisingly, you probably wouldn't even think that. But, my favourite colour is blue. Why is it blue? I don't know, I just like blue. And that's my answer, I just like blue. The other colour I like is green. And I'm like, well, why do you like green? Well, it's out there in the world. You look at the grass, the trees. I like autumnal colours as well. So, like browns, reds, and so on and so forth. So basically, these colours reflect who I am. Now, a colour therapist would turn around and say to me, you know what that means? That means you are connected to the planet. I've always walked on it, so I'm still connected to it, somewhere or another. It's true that. Let's continue. Poetry. This is probably one of the most expressive forms of art therapy you will ever come across. Now, to make this so much easier for yourself, it relieves the mind from anxieties. Now, how does it do that? Well, what you do is you get yourself on to find something they like. Then you get them to write a poem about it. I have one poem from Beth. I'd like to read it to you. It's called Prevent. Safeguard, protect and prevent. If only some knew what that meant. They could be safe harm and wouldn't be a cause for alarm. Radicalisation. This is word we hear across the nation. It means changing who you are. To others you start to act a bit bizarre. You might change what you wear, how you act, then your friends begin to enact. You might change your religion, which is fine, but make sure not to cross the line. Make sure your ideas don't get too extreme, so your once pure hands become unclean. Take a deep breath and breathe. Think of the world you want to see, a place where you can be what you want to be. Be happy and content. Start to prevent. I quite like that. That's, although it's not exactly for self-harm, but you can get the idea that, if we can try and prevent self-harm within people, then obviously we can move forward with them. This is just one way. I quite like the poem. I'll probably have to take a copy of it, take it home, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Unbiased. I like Beth. So, anyway, this relieves negative thoughts. Now you can see in Beth's poem there were negative thoughts. Negative thoughts of other people. They were brought out, I don't like what they do. I should imagine is what Beth was trying to express. So, but if some words that you really don't want to see and say, I cut myself the other day, hip, 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 hooray. There you go, there's one for you on the spur of the moment. Right? You may not want to hear these things, but whatever you do, don't be judgmental of the words that are used. Then just leave it at that. Tell them, it's very interesting words, yes. Does that convey how you feel in this moment? It could be another avenue you could use to open up conversations. Let's continue. Writing. Writing is a very good expression way of actually turning around and getting someone to enhance their creativity in front of you. You can get yourself partners to write a short story. It doesn't have to be about themselves, it could be about anything. We're not looking for spelling mistakes either. Remember, some of these self-harmers do have autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia, so on and so forth, and other mental health conditions. This name here, cognition. Cognition is how you actually formulate information. And you formulate the information from one side of the brain to the other, and then you can actually use that. That's what they call working memory. That is a completely different subject altogether, and nothing to do with self-harm. But spelling mistakes, it makes no difference. Don't criticise what people write. The idea is to get them to write something that you can use for them to help them reduce their negativity and reduce the way they actually turn around and actually look at the world. These people look at the world in a very, very negative attitude. So we shouldn't really be going out going, really, I don't care. We should be enhancing their ideas of what they're going to do today, tomorrow, the next day, or whenever. Because then, what we can do then is we can actually help them move forward. Musical instruments. What? Musical instruments? Yes, it's an art form. If you can play a musical instrument. I used to play the tuba at school. It was bigger than me. Probably the biggest machine I've ever seen in my life. But I was only small at the time. There's a good point there. I play the drums. I'm learning to play the Chinese dizzy flute. Yes, it's all self-taught really. But the idea is we should get them to, for instance, from drums, and bash the hell out of it. Get rid of the anxiety. Go on, make as much noise as you like. I'll be in the next room though. No, I'm serious, I'm only joking. But some people, you'll find, and I've known this for a fact, where a young man who has autism is an absolutely incredible drummer. He will sit there and drum anything from Led Zeppelin to the Beatles. note for note. Yet, if you give him something to actually look at or do inside the school, he's like, panic attack. Hang on a second, what am I doing? What am I doing? So he plays on his ears. His ears are his world. He can listen to notes that you and I probably would miss. Yeah? Even as a musician, I can assure you, I can miss notes. But he is so adept to listening, and because he listens in that way, that is his gift. So, if he's a self-harmer, are we going to squash that idea? We're not. You think flutes, saxophones, trumpets, harmonicas, even if it's a recorder, if they can play it, get them to play it for you. Record it if you want to. Record it for them. Say, hang on a second, I'd like to record that. You carry on, and when we finish, you can have it. It's your song. That's creativity. If they realise that you're actually going to help them, they're going to be more than happy to sit there and play music for you. And if they have problems like autism and dyslexia, I can guarantee you 100% that having one audience is big enough for everyone. This can be done in groups. Don't think for 1 minute you can leave this just on one person. If you have a group of musicians, say, hang on a second, why don't we, as a group session, all sit down and work through a song together? Now you understand how to play this instrument, you understand how to play that instrument, you play the guitar and so on and so forth. Let's create a piece of music together. You'll be absolutely shocked at how easy it is for these children, adults and whatever, to do what they love in front of everyone. They'll do what they love, and that's like playing instruments. And when we think about playing instruments, we think about playing instruments to a certain level that sometimes it's mind-blowing. Yeah? I know a young man, he's blind. But you could not get a better piano player in the world. He just, and once again, his ears are his voice. Like the young boy with autism, this young lad, he uses his ears. They are his instruments for learning. So don't think we have to sit there and go, look, you must write this down. You must write this down. No, if they have a story, and if they know how to do something, and it's creative, and it's an art form, which music is, get them to do it. Singing. You found your musicians, now you're going to have to find your singer. You can make a song together. That's the thing, you can make that song, you can put that song together, and you can give a copy to each one of those children or adults and say, this is what you created. Do you realise that? You know, look what you can do in the future. If you refrain from self-harming so often. Remember, you won't stop them self-harming, but you might be able to tap into something that they could use later in life. If they're young, it's best to get it there and then. Don't leave it to chance or whatever. Take the opportunity, use it, and then work through it. Acting. Oh, look, we've got some music now. We need a script. We've got the writer. We've got the person who can do the actual props. We've got someone who can design the front screen for us. You can get all of these children, adults together in one room and say, let's create a story. Once you've created that story, then find someone to actually, I don't know why I put things for reading, don't worry, I'll go back to that in a minute. I know you're going to sit there and read it anyway. We can get them to perform on the stage, in front of parents, carers, the general public. If you think for 1 minute that these people have nothing that they can offer society because they cut themselves, they do silly things and everything else, think again. Do not think for 1 minute that none of these can have some sort of form of self-expression, self-understanding. They may have self-loathing, but then at the end of the day, they are human beings. I keep saying this, they are human beings. And I still believe we should have 1 month a year where we talk about self-harm. We talk about everything else, let's talk about self-harm. If we can, and if we do, who knows, tomorrow's future may be that we have actors, actresses, singers, songwriters, writers that you've helped overcome self-harm by using their talents for art therapy. Thanks very much for listening.